This is a bubble that's going to pop.
So they reported that they had 353,000 jobs in the month of April. And then quietly in the middle of the night, midnight,
Barron's breaks it.
report saying they were way off, and the government indirectly, slowly corrected themselves after having made the announcement that they had 353,000 jobs, which makes the government look away. Till we show the numbers here on this one. Very interesting. Americans are raking up phantom debt, multiple job holders, primary job, full-time. Wait till you see the numbers. Record-breaking number. Tom will show you. Another stat came up that we have to talk about this. Remember during COVID when they were saying, look, American savings is at the highest it's ever been, $2.1 trillion in savings, and they're paying off their debt, and you're going to see people's credit card debt is going away. This is actually a good idea, UBI. And we said on the podcast, let's just wait a few years and see what American people do with their money. Because if there's one thing we know is that majority of the population does not know how to save. Majority of the population, they're professionals at spending money. But this data will absolutely shock you when we show it to you. Percentage of U.S. mortgages considered seriously underwater rises. Shocking stat of the day. $2.1 trillion of excess savings has been wiped out of the U.S. economy since August of 2021. Every month since then, U.S. households have depleted their savings at a pace of $70 billion a month to a $72 billion, minus $72 billion in March of 2024 at the same time. So a lot of people would say, well, you know, they're taking this money and they're paying off their debt. What's wrong if we're depleting it? No. U.S. credit card debt has risen from $330 billion to record $1.1 trillion, while the U.S. savings rates has declined from 3.5% to 3.2%. You know what this means? This means a fire sale is coming, because when people look at that chart, by the way, look at the amount of savings we had during COVID. We went from nothing in 2020. Look at the beginning of 2020.
The screaming roller coaster.
And it skyrockets. And then they started giving data about the fact that we're paying off credit card debt back to minus $72 billion is where we are. And obviously the buy now, pay later stuff is not helping out. But when somebody runs out of cash and savings, guess what comes next?
Sale.
A fire sale. And I'm going to talk about some of the other data that Tom's got a lot of commentary to give on this. But Tom, what do you think about when you shared this with me that I was blown away by this? Go ahead.
I've been seeing this coming, and this has been really scary. And what it means is, as COVID stopped, you have to look at the emotion of the consumer. As COVID stopped, you can come back out and play, you can travel, you can go to restaurants and things like that. And people got jobs back at restaurants. Those weren't new jobs. They just went back to old jobs. People started spending, and they forgot how good it felt to have the credit cards paid down, have a little bit of money in the bank, courtesy of the government. But to them, the emotion of the average consumer, apparently PBD, was this is free money. And they spent it, and they kept spending it, and they kept spending it. And now we're in a situation where last year, it is a fact, and you can go look this up. This isn't my opinion. This is the fact. Go look at even regular newspapers, USA Today. You don't have to go study the Wall Street Journal. It was saying that the American consumer last year saved the economy in 2023 by spending on GDP. We bought things. We bought plane tickets. We bought tickets to Disneyland, which I never go to. We did all kinds of things like this. And we saved the economy last year because consumer spending in 2023 was crazy, but we were spending our savings, racking up credit card debt, using BNPL, buy now, pay later, in the fall. And now the American consumer is tapped out. Not completely tapped out, but they're pinched. So what comes next? How is the American consumer going to spend its way through the summer of 24 to help the economy? The answer is they can't. Maybe defense spending can, but not them.
Tom, this doesn't include their 401k savings.
No.
This is purely cash, checking account, saving account.
That's the other part of the emotion, is the stock market did pretty good last year. So most people probably talking to their HR department, hey, how's our 401k? The average investment fund? Oh, it's pretty good. We had a 22% year. So that probably is a deception, because you see your 401k, hey, honey, my 401k was up 20% at work. Isn't that pretty cool? And then you look at your IRA. Hey, my IRA was up 25% because it was tied to the S&P and Mag 7 last year. Just average people using average index funds that are most of the time, those look pretty good. So maybe they see those and they feel pretty good, but they're spending the paycheck and they're just living paycheck to paycheck now. It's a fact.